So, Premier League Weekend 5. More goals, more drama, more controversy. It's not bad, this, is it? Hello, my name's Richard and welcome back to my channel over and over and over again, which features everything to do with Arsenal. In this video, I just want to look back on the weekend's Premier League action, of course, weekend 5. Just before I do that, I just want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you like what I do, please click the subscribe button. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as well, as it really does help it to grow. And if you've got any comments at all about the weekend's Premier League games or anything to do with Arsenal or anything to do with football at all, please drop me in the comments box, because I do like to hear from you guys as well. And don't forget, of course, tonight at 8 o'clock, I've got a special live show where I'm in conversation with former Arsenal striker Isaiah Rankin. That's coming on the channel tonight, I say, at 8 o'clock, so please stay tuned for that. So then, weekend 5 of the Premier League. Once again, a lot of goals, a lot of drama, and a lot of controversy as well with the VAR stuff. So let's start at the very beginning. Then the lunchtime game on Saturday was, of course, the Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Everton, of course, with a 100% record, playing Liverpool, looking to bounce back from that shock 7-2 defeat at Aston Villa last time out. Liverpool scored early on, of course, with Sadio Mane, of course, recovered from his recent positive COVID test. But, of course, the big story was soon after that when Jordan Pickford's, of course, terrible tackle on Virgil van Dijk has resulted in Van Dijk now going to be out for the rest of the season with an ACL injury. How Pickford escaped any punishment for that tackle, I do not know. Of course, VAR had ruled Van Dijk offside in the build-up to that movement, but even so, it was an horrendous tackle, wasn't it? And it has, of course, ended Van Dijk's season. So we, of course, wish him well and a speedy recovery there. Everton, now, of course, are a different proposition this season under Ancelotti. They equalised with a header from Michael Keane. That's his third goal of the season already in all competitions. He's had a revitalisation as well, hasn't he, this season? He's playing some good stuff, Michael Keane there with a goal. But Liverpool regain a lead in the second half. Mo Salah's 100th goal for the club put them 2-1 up. But, of course, it was my main fantasy league striker that got me some more points and got Everton an equaliser again late in the game. A towering header, actually, from a cross from Luca Dean, and that made it 2-2. I mean, what a start to the season Calvert-Lewin's had. He's become the first Everton player since the 1930s to score in their first 5 games. And also, of course, he scored his first England goal, didn't he, last week as well. So congratulations to him. Fantastic season he's having. There was still some real late drama in this game. Richarlison was shown a straight red card for a foul on Thiago. Was that any worse than Pickford's tackle? I don't think it was. So if that was a red card, why wasn't Pickford's? And then, of course, in the very final seconds of stoppage time, it looked as though Liverpool had won the game when Jordan Henderson swept the ball home. But VAR, for a change, decided that it wasn't going to be Liverpool's day. They wasn't going to let them win the game, and they disallowed it for a very marginal offside on Sadio Mane in the build-up. Ridiculous decision, if we're honest, but it's Liverpool that's been on the wrong side of it for a change. So, do we really care? Of course, Liverpool now say that they want the VAR decisions investigated from this game. Well, let's take that into last season as well, shall we, and see how many points you get taken off of your total there if you want to be investigating VAR. The next game, of course, the 3 o'clock game on Saturday, was another exciting game, wasn't it? 6 goals between Chelsea and Southampton. I think this game summed up everything that Chelsea are about this season. Fantastic going forward, scored some great goals, but unfortunately their defending is just atrocious, and in the end it finished in a 3-3 draw. Chelsea looked to be cruising in the first half. 2 goals from Timo Werner, his first 2 in the Premier League. He also had another one disallowed as well, as he was going for a hat-trick. But Southampton came back. Danny Ings, another one of my fantasy strikers, got the first goal, and then chaotic defending from Chelsea allowed Shea Adams to equalise to make it 2-2. Chelsea went back in front. Their front players are really starting to gel now. It was Kai Havertz with his first Premier League goal as well to make it 3-2. But then in the 96th minute, I think it was our old mate Theo Walcott who helped create the equaliser for Southampton. It was his shot that was turned home by defender Vestergaard to make it 3-3. And, you know, a great result for us, of course, Chelsea dropping 2 points. And while they keep defending the way that they have been, and that's surely going to hamper their chances of finishing in the top 4. Of course, the tea time game on Saturday was our game against Manchester City, which I've already spoken about, of course, in my review video yesterday. I don't really want to talk about that anymore. And of course, the final game on Saturday was the first pay-per-view game, wasn't it? Newcastle against Manchester United. Hopefully, the viewing figures were really low, and this experiment will soon be dropped. Again, it wasn't a bad game actually. Newcastle scored early on. It was an own goal from Luke Shaw. But Manchester United, of course, looking to bounce back from that 6-1 defeat against Tottenham in their last game. They were level before half-time. Harry Maguire, of course, coming for a lot of stick this season, but he scored with a header off his big fat head to make it 1-1. And it stayed 1-1 actually right until the final few minutes. Bruno Fernandes had a penalty saved by Newcastle goalkeeper Darlow. Very soft penalty actually, the sort of penalties only Man United tend to get. But in the end, Fernandes made up for it with a goal to put Man United back in front. It was a good goal actually, well worked move with Rashford. And then in the final couple of seconds, Wan-Bissaka scored his first Man United goal before Rashford wrapped it up to make it 4-1. So the scoreline maybe slightly flattered Manchester United, although they probably did deserve to win the game overall. Newcastle didn't play particularly well. Then on to Sunday's games. Not quite the same excitement, unfortunately, across these games, although there was still some late drama in all of them. The first game was at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United against Fulham, two teams that came into the day with 0 points, and I suppose inevitably it finished in a draw. Fulham actually look a better side now. They've made some good signings in the transfer window, one of which Lookman actually scored their goal, a great solo effort it was as well, really good goal. They then missed a penalty. Mitrovic hit the bar from the spot when he should have done a lot better, and he also missed a couple of other chances later in the game which should have really sealed it for Fulham. In the end, they were made to pay when Sheffield United did get a late equaliser with a penalty conceded by Mitrovic and given by VAR, which Billy Sharp smashed into the net to give Sheffield United their first point of the season. Actually, looking at this game, although obviously Fulham started the season as massive favourites to go down, on the basis of this game, you'd say Sheffield United look more likely to be relegated. Fulham, I say they've made some good signings. They played well in the second half in particular, and perhaps should have won this game. So it could be a long season ahead for Sheffield United, of course, after their heroics last season. The second game again wasn't a great game at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace against Brighton. A match of the day seemed to want to build this as a local derby, although they're not very local, are they really? But anyway, there seems to be some sort of history between the clubs maybe, but it's certainly not a local derby, is it? Crystal Palace took the lead in the first half with a penalty from Wilfried Zaha. It was a sort of penalty that only Man United get, but obviously this time it was Crystal Palace got it, very, very soft. I say Zaha scored his fourth goal of the season to make it 1-0. But Brighton in the second half actually played really, really well, created numerous chances. And although I'd actually predicted them as one of my relegation teams at the start of the season, they've been proving me wrong with the football that they've been playing under Graham Potter. But unfortunately, they're not getting the results they maybe deserve. They should have won this game, there's no doubt about it. But in the end, they were fortunate perhaps to get a draw when they scored in injury time. It was a goal from McAllister, his first Premier League goal for Brighton, to make it 1-1. So, you know, you can see where Brighton's problems are scoring goals. They're playing some good stuff, but they need to start turning these into victories as well, or they are going to struggle. Of course, the third game on Sunday was the one that we enjoyed the most, of course, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Of course, it finished Tottenham 3, West Ham 3. I don't quite know how that happened. In the first 20 minutes, Tottenham were flying. Obviously, building on that 6-1 win at Manchester United, they'd scored 3 goals inside 20 minutes from Son and 2 from Harry Kane, who had also created the first one. And then they looked as though they were in cruise control. Harry Kane hit the post in the second half. Gareth Bale came on for his second debut. Of course, everything was going swimmingly for Tottenham. They were currently sitting second in the table. But of course, they did typically what Tottenham do. Just as it looks as though they look a good side and in with a chance of something, they completely imploded and conceded 3 goals in the final 8 minutes. It was Balbuena with his first goal of the season for West Ham, a header from a free kick. Davison Sanchez then scored an own goal to make it 3-2, and then in stoppage time, what a goal that was from Lanzini. Goal of the month and a contender for goal of the season as well, I would have thought. A fantastic first time strike from about 25 yards into the top corner. An absolutely brilliant goal. Actually was worthy of winning a game. Instead it almost felt like a winner, didn't it? Certainly for West Ham and certainly from our point of view as well. So another 2 points dropped for Tottenham as well. They can't seem to win at home, can they? And the final game of the weekend, of course, the late one on Sunday, probably the worst game of the Premier League season so far, if we're honest. Very poor game between Leicester and Aston Villa. It looked for all the world as though it was going to be heading towards the first goalless draw of the season. It seems incredible, doesn't it, on the fifth weekend? We haven't had a goalless draw yet. But Ross Barkley made sure it didn't when he scored a stoppage time winner for Aston Villa. One of the only bits of quality in a very poor game. So Aston Villa now have won their first 4 games, 100% record. The only team left actually with a 100% record after Everton's draw in the Merseyside derby. Fantastic start to the season for them. And there's already talk that people are saying, are they going to do a Leicester from 2016 and go on and win the league? I'm not quite sure about that. I think one thing's clear though, after 5 weekends, that it's very open this season, isn't it? Liverpool have dropped lots of points already. Manchester City have already dropped points as well. Chelsea can't defend. Man United can't defend. As the improvements that we've made, we've still lost 2 games already. So it's wide open, isn't it? Great start for Everton. Fantastic start for Aston Villa. 3 clean sheets as well. I wonder who their goalkeeper is. So, another interesting weekend. Of course, there's 2 more games tonight, isn't there, to finish off the weekend. The highlight of which is at Ellen Road, of course, Leeds against Wolves. 2 teams that play some good football. Leeds, a fantastic start to the season for them. If they can keep their unbeaten run going. Obviously, they haven't lost since the first game of the season at Anfield. So they're on a great run at the moment, playing some good football. I think that'll be a good game, actually, 8 o'clock tonight. But unfortunately, of course, you won't be able to watch it, will you? Because you'll be watching my channel when I'm in conversation with Isaiah Rankin. Of course, that's also 8 o'clock tonight here on Over and Over and Over Again. So that's that video there today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, please subscribe as well. And I say, please tune in again tonight at 8 o'clock for that great show with Isaiah Rankin. Got a lot of great stuff to talk about with him as well this evening. So that's that then. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks for supporting the channel. I've had a few new subscribers over the weekend. Of course, don't forget as well, this is one of the only channels that I'm aware of that covers the Arsenal women as well. Great win for them yesterday, of course, which I featured on a video as well. So if you haven't watched that yet, please give that a little look as well. So I say thanks for watching, thanks for supporting the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. As I say, come back again at 8 o'clock this evening for a great show with Isaiah Rankin. And until then, of course, as always, come on you Gunners!